and welcome to another Toffee Blues video, your source for all things Everton. I'm Louis, and this is a player ratings off the back of yesterday's remarkable 3-2 home win over Tottenham Hotspur. A very surprising afternoon, I'll be honest. I didn't think that we were capable of that level of performance, particularly in the first half. It's probably the best that we've looked all season, if not since the back end of last. We were well on top in the first half. Spurs themselves had chances, probably more chances than we'd usually concede, in fairness. But in terms of the attacking intent, it was like watching a different side, really. And, you know, when NDIAYE, CALVERT, the whole team were outstanding, really. And a great day at Goodison Park and an important 3 points as well for the Blues. So we'll start with the player ratings anyway. Pickford in goal, solid as ever, 8 out of 10. A few question marks about him for the goal where I was sat, which I couldn't believe, to be honest with you. I don't think it's his fault at all. I think he's really unlucky with the first one, and the second one is obviously a defensive error. But two really solid stops in the opening half an hour or so to deny Son. One at the front post, standing tall, and then not gambling and comfortably holding it down to his right as well. And again, he was vital in his communication, his leadership, as we know he is, and another consistent display from him. Frustrating to not get the clean sheet, but as I say, good performance from England's number one. That's an 8 out of 10. Lindstrom next, 8.5. Thought he was magnificent, by far his best game that he's had for the club. His endeavour to get up and down the flank, supporting both CALVERT-LEWIN and Jake O'Brien was incredible. His calmness on the ball, he looked more of a danger. You know, great save in the first half from Klinsky to his right after a move that Lindstrom started from his defensive diligence as well. So really impressive from the Dane, and something that we've been waiting for, really. You know, there's been flashes of quality and snippets here and there, but it's never been put together into a full performance till this weekend, and he was really, really impressive. So 8.5 for Lindstrom, and hopefully we can see more of him like that as well. Mykolenko, 8 as well, rock solid. Didn't think he put a foot wrong all afternoon. So you know, impressive in 1v1 defending like he was last season now, but also his attacking output's looking a lot better. You know, a few decent balls in, as there was against Villa, so hopefully that can continue as well. But a good performance from the left back. O'Brien, 8, slotted in seamlessly, I thought. That was hard to say. A really good performance from him. You know, he's a little bit shaky in the first 5 minutes or so, but then after that, didn't look out of place alongside James Tarkowski and Jared Branthwaite. I thought he was super impressive, and, you know, if it's a back 4-3, whatever it may be, I think he's kept his place, in my view, for Brighton away and Leicester at home, maybe whichever one's next. Really, really good performance from him. Tarkowski, 9, fantastic. As I say, for people who listen to these, you know how much I rate Tarkowski. I think he's an immense defender. I think he's, you know, a real leader for Everton, and it was no different again on Sunday afternoon. The way he leads that back line and the whole side, his passing range, but his command of his area, you know, that tackle in the first half on Son when he was bearing down on goal was like something from the Jagielka days, really, for someone of my age. You know, last ditch, body on the line, winning everything in the air, big part of the third goal too, and you know, I think he's having a really good season anyway. But what a signing he's been for Everton on a free transfer, and, you know, it was no different on Sunday. So a 9 out of 10 for James Tarkowski. Branthwaite next, 7. It would have been a lot higher, but for the first goal, I thought he was culpable, unfortunately. Other than that, a great display from the England international. You know, he was making better decisions, I think, than he's made in recent weeks. And, you know, Villa was a rare off day. We know how good Branthwaite is. And for the majority of the afternoon, it was the same. However, I say I've been a little bit harsh there, but the first goal, I thought he could have done a bit better. But other than that, a great performance from him. Who's next? It's Mangala next. Again, fantastic. What a player. As I say it all the time, his calmness, you know, you saw the feint for the first goal, which has obviously been picked up on, but also, you know, the Lindstrom chance I spoke of before, that comes from Mangala and his tidy play, and, you know, not being afraid of keeping the ball in tight areas. And, you know, he's robust defensively, physical. Great performance from him, 8.5, and hopefully he's a player that we can get signed onto a permanent. Ghana next, 8. 2 assists, really not sort of Idrissa Gana Gueye passes that you'd associate with him, but, you know, he had a really, really strong display. I didn't think he was himself at Villa. I thought he was excellent at the weekend. He was everywhere, covering ground, helping his teammates out like he does, and he was much better in possession as well. So really good performance from him, 8 out of 10. Decore next to 5. I didn't think he had a very good game, if I'm being honest with you, but these things happen. NDIAYE, 8.5, very unlucky not to join Tarkowski and someone else in the 9 out of 10. He was electric from start to finish. His aggression when he's in a 1v1 scenario is just incredible. He's always looking to take his man on. He's never looking to just sort of sit back and see what happens. He's attacking players all the time, and took his goal superbly down at the park end. And as I say, it's not just about, when you're in our position, it's not just about what you do down there, it's about getting back as well and helping out your fullback, and he did that as he's done all season. So becoming a real Everton icon, and I think it's his 6th of the season, and he's having a great campaign. So what a signing again from Kevin Thelwell. And then CALVERT 9, best display of the season, best display since last season's derby. He bullied the Spurs back line all afternoon. I don't think that they won a header against him. If they did, it wasn't clean. Took his goal unbelievably well. There was great calmness for a player who, hasn't scored in 16, which is a very unwanted record for a striker. To show the coolness and composure that he did in front of goal, to sit down, the centre-half, not once but twice, was super impressive. And, it was the same with the third goal as well. Had a hand in that, obviously, off Tarkowski's knockdown, and he was a constant threat all afternoon. Probably feels like he should have had more than just the one as well, but that's a sign of a striker in form. He's been starved of chances for a little while, and whenever he's got them, he's snatched at them. So hopefully that can just loosen him up a little bit, and he can have a real run of goal scoring form, because he was back to his old self, I thought, at the weekend. So really good stuff from CALVERT-Lewin. Subs next, Young 7 and Patterson 7. Both solid when they come on. Young in particular, Patterson really tricky. Big tackle at the end as well, just to keep everyone's nerves from jangling, I think, while Spurs were looking for the equaliser that, I'll be honest, I think most of us thought was going to come. But yeah, he was really impressive, as was Young. 2 good displays from them. And then Keane 5. He didn't have his best of displays when he come off the bench. But regardless, it doesn't matter. Everton got 3 points, and a much needed 3 points as well. The most important thing is, whatever your thoughts were on Dyche, Moyes needs to get off to a good start, because we know what it can be like when a manager doesn't get off to a good start. And I think if it had finished 3-3, I'd have been really, really worried for the rest of the season. But at the end of the day, 3-2 flattered Tottenham. I thought that we were by far the better team, and a great afternoon at Goodison nonetheless. So that's all from me. Let us know your thoughts. I've been generous there, but I think it's the first time all season that people will let me get away with it, to be honest with you. But yeah, as I say, let me know what you think. Up the toffees, and I'll see you soon.